Good evening. Welcome to Bedtime Stories, episode 3. We're going to get into this chapter 2 of Caught Up, Lovin, and Trill 1-4 by Michelle Elaine. The book is available on her website, michelleelainebooks.com, and on Amazon. Look it up. Get the book, follow along with my bedtime stories, all right? Now, before we get into the review of chapter 2, let's get into this bedtime cocktail. Now, I had to take it back. I had to take it all the way back to the old fashioned. Yes, indeed, honeys and baby girls and baby boys. I had to go back to an old fashioned where I could get a reasonable spirit and I didn't have to buy a whole bunch of other mixers and to add to it. An old fashioned is called an old fashioned for this reason. Old fashions is the blueprint for all drinks, all cocktails. You have a spirit, you have a sweetener, and you have a bitter. Okay? So, with this one, with an old fashioned, I have some good old fashioned Kentucky Tavern Special Reserve Bourbon Whiskey. Let me put it up to the camera so y'all can see it. And so there you go, Kentucky Tavern. There it is. As you can see, I've already tried it, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good for it to be an $8.99 bottle. Hello, that's right. A sister's on a budget. Okay, a sister's on a budget. Okay, so it's an 80 proof bourbon whiskey, and like again, reasonably priced. So let's get into this old fashioned. Now, because I didn't have simple syrup, and nor did I have sugar to make it, because I kind of try to stay away from sugar, white sugar. Now, I understand going to eat a candy or two or something like that, okay? But because I try to keep it out of my house so I'm not eating it excessively, because sugar is addictive, okay? I have honey, so I'm going to sweeten my old-fashioned with honey. Ooh, yeah. So let's get started. So the first one, what we first want to start off with is I'm going to do 2 jiggers or 2 ounces of the bourbon whiskey of this Kentucky Tavern. Now I'm sitting over trying to do this and not knock over my mic, but yet keep the mic close to my mouth. There we go. That's 1 jigger. 2 jiggers, 3 jiggers, 4. Oh, pour too much. See, the hood me will be sucking on this towel later, but I know I'm on a budget, but I ain't that much on a budget, okay? Now, I would say put maybe about a teaspoon or 2 of honey. I am just going to eye it right now. The main thing is you want to have some type of sweetener in it. So I'm just going to squeeze about what I think is maybe a tablespoon worth of honey in there. And I'm using wildflower honey from the Sweetwater Creek, okay, honey farm or whatever they call it. Okay, so this is where I get it. I get it from the DeKalb Farmers Market. It's very reasonably priced. This is only like maybe $13 for this big 48 ounce of honey. Okay, I use a lot of honey. Honey. Okay, and I'm going to do a couple of shakes. Might be 3, 4, 5 drops of this Angostura bitter. See, the thing with having the yellow cap bitter, okay, it doesn't say if it is lemon or whatever, but So I put about 4 shakes of the bitter into my lowball glass. And like, because this is honey and it doesn't blend as easily as the simple syrup, I'm gonna just stir the honey in there. I'm gonna stir it a little bit before I put in my large block of ice, which I make myself. Now I don't have the cube thing yet, so that I can make the big, squares of ice or the circle, I just use a plastic container, fill it with spring water from my water machine, and freeze it, and then break it up. Okay. I mean, you improvise. I'm telling you, I am the queen of improvisation, if that's the word. Improvisation, that's what it is. That's the word. Okay. Even though I've already washed my hands, to show good measure, I am also sanitizing it before I put my hand on the ice. I mean, it's me. Ain't nobody else. I'm not making nobody else's drinks. If someone else was here, I would have one of the little tongs to pick up the ice, or I would use gloves. Okay? So, well, here it goes. So here's one of my big cubes of ice, and I'm just going to stir it up a little bit. I'm going to stir it up a little bit here. They said it's all in the wrist. You use your wrist and your feet. You don't struggle with the stir. Just let it just be easy with the stir. Now, I'm not going to do an intensive stir. Well, it seems kind of intensive the way I'm doing it, but they say you're supposed to stir it for a little longer. But as you see, the ice, as I've said before in my cocktail making, the ice is for not only chilling the drink, but also diluting the drink with the water, so it's not like you're taking straight shots. Okay? But you can do it that way. And you'd be funny. I remember when I worked for a t-shirt company, and there is it's a part of clean. When I was tasked with cleaning the screens, it didn't hit me. The owner and the creator of that t-shirt company said to me, "Water is a chemical." It sure is. It is. It's water, H2O. That is on the periodic chart of chemicals. So yeah, water is a chemical. It is an element, and it is it's also a mixer. Booyah. Okay. So here's my old fashioned. There you go. Taste it. Okay, so let's get into chapter 2 of Caught Up Lovin' a Trill 1-4. Ooh. Okay, so chapter 2 starts off. It starts off with Champ. His name is Malcolm Champ Davis. He is one of the big players in Atlanta, and he's over what like Scar's business. He's a part of the gang. Okay. He's in the gang, like Scar, and like his position in Atlanta is similar to what what Tyson's was when he was alive. He is like the big guy running the Atlanta office of a smaller supplier in Mexico. Okay, but he ain't nothing to F with. Okay. And now in chapter 1, we remember Jamal's jealous behind is mad that his baby mama is hanging out with one of his people. Okay, one of his boys. and he went and shot. He went and shot up the spot, gunshots. Okay, and he went and shot up the spot and killed one, and the two, and shot the others, were injured. But unbeknownst to Jamal, one of the guys that he shot and is hanging on for his life is Malcolm Champ Davis's brother. So I just gave you a snippet. I went ahead of myself. So chapter 2 starts with Champ and his new wife, but not new female in his life. They're on their honeymoon in South America. Is it South America that they're at? No, they're in it is tropical. They are in, come on, I'm about to say arugula, but that's a whole type of lettuce. Well, just moving on. They're on their honeymoon right now, and now mind you, this is his children's mother, his baby mama. She already had 3 children by him. It tells a little bit about Champ. Champ comes from a family of players. Okay, and I ain't talking about player from the Himalayas. I'm talking about they in that game. They in that life. Okay? He was born into a family of people that is in the business, if you know what I mean. In the business. Okay? They in that blue magic business. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah. Get the books. You know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to not, I'm not promoting that, but that's what the book's about. So, they're there. He comes from a family. His father, his uncles, his mama it's almost like he's a part of the mob. Like, people are born into that type of life, the mob, or the whatever they call it, or cartel. If they was born in, he was born into it. Okay? This is all he knows. Okay? This is all he knows. He never considered a life outside of being a part of the gang. Right? So he so that's a little bit about him. If you want the more detailed stuff, hey, go on, get the book. So him and his fiance, he's in the pool swimming. He has actually detached. He cut his phone off. And he told his family, hey, don't call me unless it's an emergency. So this is the type of thing that's going on. Where he's actually relaxing. A much needed rest. His new wife, Sharita, it comes out in her little 2-piece bathing suit, tired from a night of good loving, but also she's pregnant again with their 4th child, and it's taking her out, So she comes out, and he kind of smiles and he looks at his ring, remembering the wedding. Everything was, of course, Big Willie style. Okay, they had the big wedding and the reception, and now they're on a wonderful trip in the tropics, taking a much needed break. Okay, and I mean that he don't have his phone on him, so that's a good thing for him. Every now and again you need that. You need to go out the country, have your feet in the sand. You can't call me. I remember going on trips like that. Or going on cruises, pre-pandemic, child. Pre-panoramic. I said the word. Pre-panoramic. Okay. Going on cruises, and it's like, oh, Work can't call me. I'm out of the country. Do you hear me? Don't call me. I'm not going to be, you won't be able to reach me. I'm out of the country. Whoop. I'm out of the country. And then come back in the country. Come back to the country. You have 25 text messages and emails. So, you know what? All the noise. Now, I am being conservative on my electricity. And so I have all my windows open, my fan going. I mean, because it's not too hot yet, which is a miracle. God loves me. Okay, let's go on. Okay, I know if y'all hear that, that's just because I have my windows open. I'm not going to sit up there and run my AC. Not yet. Let July get here. But there he's in the pool doing laps, reminiscing over their wedding, over finally marrying the woman that has held it down for him through all the ups and downs and stuff. He finally marries her. So he's having good memories, and he's in the pool, and she comes out in her two-piece, looking cute, milk chocolate like me. Okay, but she's probably a little smaller than me, okay, and younger. Okay, imagine that. Or you can imagine me if you like. Anyway, so she comes out, she sits on the edge of the pool slowly, and she's like, oh, this baby is kicking my booty. Okay, my booty butt cheeks is kicking me. Okay, so that means she's been having morning sickness all morning, and and he's like, oh, come on, girl, whatever, what you gonna do? You gonna get in the pool with me? She's like, nah, I'm gonna go and enjoy the last couple of days in the sun with no kids and stuff. Of course, the kids, it's their honeymoon, so the other 3 kids are staying with the sister, Alicia. So he does more swimming, and she's laying in the sun, soaking up the sun, enjoying it. She eventually falls asleep. He decides to get out of the pool, and he walks over to his now wife to wake her up. And before he can do that, the butler interrupts him and says, "Sir, you have a call." And instantly, he's like, oh shit. Shish kebabs. He started to develop a knot in his stomach because there's only a few people who know how to get in touch with him. And even they know that don't call him unless it's absolutely an emergency. So it's like, so he's like, who is it? Who's that person on the phone? He's like, it's your sister Alicia. I keep saying Alicia, trying to make it sound like Alicia, like keys. All right. So he's now extra nervous because she's the sister that is keeping his children. So he gets on the phone. He's like, is the kids all right? What's wrong? What's going on? She's like, oh no, the kids are fine. I'm here with the kids. He said, so he's like, well, he knows if she calls, there's something wrong. Now, mind you, remember, they grew up in the life. Okay? So she calls, he says, everything else, what's wrong? He's like, she takes a breath. Our brother is in the hospital. Mom and dad is with him now. There was a shooting. T didn't make it. Two other guys and our brother's in the hospital hanging on by the hair of his chin, right? So, you know what? I'm gonna put on my glasses so it'll help me kind of read a little bit of it so I can see so I can tell you exactly kind of where they are. I still want to say arugula, and I know that's not, and they aren't in Argentina, it's the A word. Oh my God. Okay, so now you know this is a real authentic video because I'm sitting up here trying to figure out what the heck are they. All the sounds is going on now, and then I'm sitting up here trying to figure out where they have their. It's a beautiful place too. Ooh, come on now. And I also want to give you the name of his brother. I wish somebody would freaking get that daggone alarm and turn it off. Goddamn. I'm just saying. Jeez. Anyway, so she gets the phone and his sister tells him that, she says, she says, the kids are fine, champ. It's our brother. Mom and dad are in the hospital with Jarius. Thank you. Whoever turned off that daggone alarm, thank you. Okay. But, Jarius. Okay. So he's in the hospital hanging on for dear life. And the parents are there. And so he's like, bet. I'm there. Okay. Okay. One day I'm gonna not be cheap and actually turn on my AC so we won't hear all the noises that's going on outside. But not today. So Jarius, he's like, bet. Now mind you, he has some other brothers from his father having some other, ladies. But him, Alicia, and Jarius are by the same man. And were raised together, so they're close. They're thick as thieves. So when he finds this out, it's like, bet, I'm going to be there on the next plane. Okay, now mind you, the butler's still there. Okay. I'll be on the first plane back home. So the butler, after he hangs up, the butler disappears as Champ goes over to. So they didn't stop it. Sometimes car alarms will stop after doing it so long. It'll just like, and then they'll stop, but they'll start back again. So I thought they stopped it, but they ain't stopped it. The alarm's like, I'm tired. Anyway, moving on. So we're just gonna power through this with the back noise. I might have to put some music in there so y'all don't hear the beeping. But at any rate, so the butler leaves. He goes over to wake up Sharita from her nap because she just fell asleep. And so he kind of comes over and he bends down and he kind of lightly shakes her legs and wake her up. And she's like, oh my God, I told you, this baby is kicking my butt. It's gotta be dinner time. And she gets up and she's jumping up and then she sees his face. He's like, what's wrong? And right when he was about to say something, she's like, oh, I have to get up. And then right as she said something, the butler is good, but he's also a little hater, okay? Because he could have, like, let me tell you, okay? He said, your ride will arrive at a certain time, whatever time to take you to the airport, sir, so you can get that first flight out. And she said, what's wrong? He said, Jarius is in the hospital. She was like, her being with him through all that she knows the connection between him, her and her siblings, and him and his siblings and his family. So it wasn't even a question. She wasn't even mad. She said, let me get our clothes. Let's go ahead and pack up so we can go ahead and leave. She was like, oh man, we're going to have to leave. But there's like, once he said that his brother was in the hospital because he got shot, like, oh hell, let me go ahead and get our clothes. We need to get back. Okay. So it's what I thought so far is it's kind of cool that he's in a family that knows what he does. And because they all do it and have dealt with it, and to have a wife that knows what he's into, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a question. She knew he had to go. He didn't have to lie or say anything about, lie about why he needs to go back or anything. It's just a wonderful situation. Now, I just want to give you a tidbit. I'm going to jump back to the last video, episode 2, where you have Saint that is dating a wonderful young lady. I know he calls her Ray. I don't know if her name is Sheree or Monterey right now at this time. To me, she ain't toy, so whatever. But he doesn't know that he's in the life. You know what I'm saying? But what I so far like about Champ and his family is like everybody knows what it is. No lies is going around. She knew what it was and she knew what this meant. That he's going to go back home and he's about to lay down the law and get whoever did this to his brother back. Okay? So that is the end of the first scene of chapter 2. So now we enter into the next scene where you find Toy in the condo standing in her daughter's, in the doorway of her daughter's room. And she's now finally, after almost 2 years, making the condo her own. Painting, getting new furniture, stuff like that. And so she has her, of course, Britton, okay, her sister Katrina and Zeus over there helping her paint. She's having a paint party, okay? And while she's having this paint party, she's on Instagram and she sees his Saint's sister post a special happy birthday, and she was like, she's feeling some type of way about this birthday wish. Not because it's his birthday, not because it's his sister, but because he got his hand wrapped around some cute little thing, some little petite little thing, okay? And it's like he looks genuinely happy. And she wanted him to move on, but at the same time, that's her boo. That's her boo. Okay, they've been lying to themselves. They know no one can do them like each other. I mean, it's just what it is. It's just what it is. Even in the last chapter, chapter 1, Saint is kind of like, I like homegirl. She's really beautiful girl, wonderful businesswoman. She's together. She could take all this D, everything. She's everything but Toy though. Okay, and Toy's feeling some type of way because he got some chick hanging on him. Okay, so she could tell that that's his new woman. So she's feeling some type of way about it, but what can she say? She let him go. So as she's sitting up there feeling some type of way looking at the picture, Katrina's like, sis, hey, you done sat up there and invited us all over here to help you paint, and you ain't lifting not nail finger. That ain't right. She's like, oh, girl. She forced a smile. She put her phone down. Observative friend or sister would have known. So, you sitting up here reminiscing over that? Sexy thing. I would be too, but get a paintbrush and help out. So she let her, oh, girl, you right. Let me go ahead. Let me get you. So she grabbed a roller of paint, started helping painting. And so they having a good time, probably having some old fashions and just painting and having a good time. Now the girls are at her parents' house as she making these transformations in the apartment. She's gonna surprise them with a new room, with, you know what I'm saying? So it's that whole thing. So Zeus pulls her aside and say, hey, Toy, can I talk to you for a minute? So she's like, yeah, what's up? Okay, so they go off to the side into the kitchen area, and he said, look, I'm gonna have to go. I have to get ahead of some mess. And he's talking about the situation that happened on Jamal's watch because he's in his freaking feelings. And so he tells him, I need to go. I have to go and get ahead of this thing, you know. I don't know. You know, it seems like Jamal, and it also explains in the book that though Toya's out of the life, she still kind of keeps connected through Zeus and through others that she still have a connection with. But she's not in the life, but she kind of keeps her ear to the ground, you know. And so she kind of like, yeah, I saw that. I was like, and they messing with Champ. He ain't know, he's crazy. What are they thinking? You know, she was like, well, go ahead and handle it. And said, one other thing I want to tell you, Scar's sick. She's like, what? Oh man, like after she got out of the game, she still kept in contact with Scar, but she started to fall off after a while. And that happens, you know, nothing wrong with it. I don't think no one felt any type of way, but he wanted to let her know, look, Scar doesn't know that he told her, but you know, Scar is sick. He's like, well, what's wrong? He said, it's something like some type of organ failure type of thing. I don't know the exact. You might want to call and check on him. It's basically what she's saying. He said, yeah, I done fell off. I haven't talked to him in a while. I need to call him. He said, yeah, you do. And you sure have, he said, not only have you stopped talking to him, but to Scar, but you also, you know, he also said, and saying, he was like, she made her eyes small at him. Like, don't try to roll me into that. You know what it is. And she knows he got a new woman. Okay. But you know, Zeus, he's not that dude. He's not that dude. Matter of fact, it says in this chapter, too, they say, you know, I don't like to be in between you and your relationships. Not when you was Tyson or with Saint. But you know. that. Everything I took, you know what that means. Okay, I want to disconnect that person's battery. I just want to disconnect that battery. It's not my car, but whoever it is, I need them to do something. But anyway, more I drink this, more I don't give a crap. But anyway, so she's like, yeah, I'm not going to call. She's, in her mind, she said, I'm not going to call saying he looks happy. I don't want to destroy his world. But mind you, in the last chapter, she said that she texted him a happy birthday. I don't think she knew at that time when she did it because she was like early in the morning. It was early in the morning on his birthday. That he was in the bed with the woman. And she didn't realize this until the next day. Like, he was some other little tenderoni, huh? And I guess she couldn't hate on her because she was cute. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's admit it, ladies. We don't mind if a man cheats on me. Is she cute in it, or if he moves on? Okay, she's cute. She cute. I see why you would. I see. You know, cheat up. You know, it's the. It's the mud ducks and the ugly ones. It's like, you cheated on me with her? Really? Oh. Alright. Or no. But anyway, so she makes plans to call Scar, and that ends the chapter. That's it. That's all I have for you. That ends the chapter. If you want more details, feel free to go to michelleelainebooks.com and get your book today. Get the whole series so you don't just get this one to be wondering what's going on. Get this book today. Get all of them, all 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Caught Up Lovin' the Trill 1. You got Amazon Prime, get it. You don't have Amazon Prime, get it anyway. Okay? That's all I have for you. And then once you get the books, go back to my YouTube and Instagram and check out Bedtime Stories where I review all those other books. Hello. And if you know of a Black author that writes books, fictional books, something in the same genre, urban love stories, urban drama, stuff like that, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments and I will check them out and I will read them and I will add them to my roster of books to read. All right? You all have a wonderful evening. I'm going to finish my old fashioned. And y'all have an old fashioned good night.